Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into Making Habits, Breaking Habits by Jeremy Dean. In this enlightening read from 2013, Dean, a psychologist and the founder of the widely respected Psyblog, explores the intricacies of our habits, what they are, how they form, and the profound impact they have on our lives. Drawing from scientific insights, Dean explains how we can break detrimental habits and cultivate beneficial ones to foster enduring positive transformations in our daily living. This book is essential for anyone curious about human behavior, psychology, or personal development. Whether you're looking to overhaul your routines, improve your mental health, or simply gain a deeper understanding of the mechanisms behind your actions, Making Habits, Breaking Habits offers valuable guidance backed by scientific research. With Dean's expertise in psychology and his insights from Psyblog, which has been highlighted by major media outlets like The Guardian, The New York Times, and Wired, this book promises to equip you with the tools you need for meaningful change. Join us as we break down how to make and break habits effectively, enhancing your lifestyle one habit at a time. Making Habits, Breaking Habits, Why We Do Things, Why We Don't, and How to Make Any Change Stick. Introduction. Harness the power of your habits. Transform your life for the better. Imagine your day as a series of dominoes, each one knocking down the next in a predictable pattern. Much like these dominoes, our lives are shaped by habits. These routines, from our morning rituals to our conversation styles, play a significant role in our daily existence. Embracing positive habits, like cooking at home or diving into a good book, enriches our lives and sets us on a path to betterment. Yet, not all habits serve us well. While many recognize the need to stop smoking or shed a few excess pounds, fewer people consider the impact of less visible habits, such as negative thinking patterns. These invisible habits can be just as, if not more, damaging than their physical counterparts. This exploration delves deep into the anatomy of habits. It offers insights into why these patterns emerge and provides practical strategies for taking command of them. By understanding the mechanics of your habits, you can alter your trajectory for a healthier and happier life. In this engaging journey, you'll unravel the reasons behind your family's unspoken dinner seating arrangement, practical tips for cultivating joy-bringing habits, the surprising effects that merely trying to quit smoking can have on your willpower. By mastering your habits, you unlock a more controlled and fulfilling life, setting a course that aligns with your aspirations and values. Part 1. Understanding the nature of habits. Why we do what we do without thinking. Have you ever caught a ball thrown at you almost reflexively? That automatic catch is a prime example of a habit, a behavior so ingrained in our actions that we perform it without conscious thought. The concept of automaticity plays a crucial role here, indicating actions that are so habitual they occur without our awareness, like flicking on a light switch upon entering a dark room. This kind of automatic behavior highlights the first key feature of a habit, its unconscious nature. When actions become habitual, they often lose their emotional impact due to repetition. This is why the rituals in our daily routines don't typically evoke strong feelings. Think about your morning routine, or how the breathtaking view from an office window might lose its appeal over time. What once stirred excitement becomes just another part of your day. Context is another significant factor in forming habits. It's the backdrop against which our behaviors automatically unfold. For example, if you spent your college days frequently socializing over drinks, you might automatically associate meeting friends with drinking. This association can turn casual drinking into a habitual behavior whenever you're in a social setting. So how do habits form? They often begin with an intention. For instance, the desire to maintain white, healthy teeth might lead you to adopt a regular brushing routine. However, habits aren't always intentional from the start. They can also be rationalized after they've been formed. Maybe you always sit at a particular spot at a friend's house simply because it was the only seat available the first time you visited. Over time, you might come to think of this spot as your preferred seat because it's comfy and has the best lighting. In some cases, your habits may be a blend of intention and explanation. Perhaps you started cycling to work as part of a diet plan, but now continue to do so because you love the fresh air and the feeling of freedom it brings. Understanding these dynamics, from the automatic nature of habits to the context that reinforce them, is key to mastering your behaviors and ultimately harnessing them to enrich your daily life. Part 2. The pervasive nature of habits. From mundane routines to mental pathways. Consider your day-to-day behaviors. Some, like dieting or smoking, might quickly come to mind, but in reality, our lives are steeped in myriad habits. Up to a third of our waking hours are spent in autopilot mode, governed by the subconscious where habits reside. This might explain why we often underestimate the number of habitual actions we perform. From your family mealtime seating strategy to murmurs of agreement like in work meetings, habits shape much of what we do. They even help us navigate the overwhelming number of decisions we face daily, especially concerning food. Have you ever found yourself repeatedly checking your email, hoping for something different despite knowing the odds? This is known as the partial reinforcement extinction effect, an impact of habit where repeated behavior persists even without reward. Despite rare instances of receiving intriguing emails, the habit of checking repeatedly is hard to break. Beyond physical actions, our thought patterns also form habits, many of which remain invisible. Negative thinking, in particular, ties closely to mental health issues like depression. Our interpretation of events, positive or negative, is often habitual. For instance, losing a job might lead someone with a habit of self-blame to struggle profoundly with the situation. There's also the habit of rumination, where thoughts loop endlessly. Some argue that reflection helps learn from past errors, but there is a fine line between constructive contemplation and sinking into repeated cycles of regret and self-reproach. From everyday routines to the loops in our minds, habits fundamentally influence how we interact with the world. Understanding and reshaping these habits can transform not only our actions, but the very perspectives through which we view our lives. Part 3. How to consciously create joyful habits. While habits often operate from our unconscious mind, the good news is they're not set in stone. You can intentionally shape and mold them, particularly if you're aiming to develop new, beneficial routines. Here's how to build vibrant and healthy habits that stick. Firstly, identify your underlying motivation with a clear and compelling goal. For this, the WHOOP, wish, outcome, obstacle, and plan strategy can be remarkably effective. Begin by articulating your wish and envisage the ideal outcome. For instance, if your desire is to run daily, imagine how fitting into your old jeans or finishing a 10 kilometers run would feel. Then, consider potential obstacles like adverse weather or sore muscles. Next, devise a concrete plan using implementation intentions. These are if X then Y scenarios that prepare you to handle obstacles. For example, you could decide, if I enter a building, I will take the stairs instead of the elevator. Using positive framing for these plans, such as, I'll take the stairs, rather than, I'm not taking the elevator, avoids the sense of deprivation that can make the banned option more appealing. Repetition is crucial since it helps embed the new behavior into your routine. However, for times when repetition might falter due to unanticipated challenges, having a coping plan is essential. Should you face rain or a tight schedule, a backup plan like, if it rains, I will wear my waterproof gear, ensures that your new habits persist even under less than ideal conditions. Lastly, to keep your habits delightful, it's vital to prevent them from becoming mundane through excessive repetition. Habituation, or the diminishing returns of repeated exposure, can drain the joy from activities. Keep your routines fresh by varying them. If biking to work, try different routes to maintain interest. Employ mindfulness techniques like savoring, pausing to fully experience and appreciate the moment, whether that's enjoying the warmth of the sun or the fragrance of fresh flowers during your ride. By following these steps, you can transform mere actions into sources of happiness and satisfaction, effectively turning beneficial behaviors into joyful habits. Part 4. Overcoming tough habits. Strategies that really work. Breaking bad habits is a challenge that many of us face. Whether it's losing weight, quitting smoking, or any other undesirable behavior, change can seem daunting. Despite efforts, a study from the 198th at the University of Scranton revealed that 60% of people struggle to keep their New Year's resolutions. However, there are effective strategies that can help you break free from the cycle. First and foremost, you need to acknowledge the habit you're trying to break. While the negative impacts of bad habits like being overweight or struggling to breathe as a smoker are apparent, identifying the underlying habitual actions requires introspection. Employ mindfulness to help with this. Mindfulness involves a keen awareness of your actions and feelings in the moment. You can start practicing mindfulness with a simple exercise. Relax in a comfortable chair. Focus on your breathing and adopt a non-judgmental and compassionate attitude towards your thoughts and feelings. This initial step of awareness is crucial as it enhances your understanding of your habitual behaviors. Moreover, strengthening your self-control plays another vital role in breaking habits. Think of self-control as a muscle that gets stronger the more you exercise it. The very attempt to break a habit, regardless of immediate success, builds this muscle. For example, if you're trying to quit smoking, even the process of resisting a cigarette contributes to your willpower. Celebrate small victories, such as going 1 week without smoking, and then aim for longer periods. To further manage your habits, consider these techniques. Monitoring behavior. Keep a log, like a food diary, to stay aware of your consumption patterns. Distraction. Replace the urge to engage in a bad habit with a less harmful activity. For instance, chew gum instead of lighting up a cigarette. Environment change. Alter your surroundings to support your new behavior. Moving to a smoke-free living space can significantly reduce the temptation to smoke. By acknowledging your habits, practicing mindfulness, enhancing self-control, and adapting your strategies, you can effectively break free from even the most persistent bad habits. Final summary. The core insight of this insightful guide is clear. Habits are formidable forces that shape our daily lives. By developing an understanding of what habits are and how they function, coupled with practical psychological strategies, we can transition from being prisoners of detrimental habits to architects of constructive, enricher routines. This transition not only breaks the chains of negative habits, but also fosters the development of positive ones, profoundly influencing our overall well-being and life trajectory. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.